And we are back. We are waiting for them to kind of get caught up on the game. You'll hear the game in the background a little bit, so they're trying to get back to where they were before the stream cut out. But kind of give me an idea of what your thoughts are so far in this game. Anything that kind of pops out at you, Aries?
So what really pops out to me is how well the Saints are actually moving the ball through the air. The Raiders have a tough defense. They're the number 6 defense in the league. But right now, Drew Brees is just picking them apart. The other key fact that the run game is non-existent in this game, which is absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, I can't even believe that. I mean, I think the run game is okay for the Saints right now, and I'm surprised he's not going more to it. Man, but for the Raiders, they cannot get anything. Like, he literally cannot get any yards. So it's almost like he puts himself in a second or third and long when he does that.
You know, that's the thing. That good run game goes ahead and sets up your pass game. Well, right now, Oakland has no run game. I'm pretty sure they're sitting less than 10 yards throughout, the first quarter and a half of football. If we're not running the football, that defense is just going to sit in pass coverage, and the Saints is not a team you want sitting in pass coverage. They've got 30 interceptions on the season.
Yeah,
they're a stout defense.
That is amazing. I mean, it's just a crazy statistic there. So, I mean, is there anything else that you're looking for maybe when we get back to it? Because we're going to try to get back to where we were before they, had this issue. Anything else that you have that maybe, that you think the Raiders need to do to kind of slow down Brent?
So here's what I would do if I was the Raiders, right? Number one, I would be bringing 4 guys at a minimum defensively every time. 4, sometimes 5, but I would stop leaving the middle of the field open. I would probably call a couple zone blitzes, which is where your D linemen and your D ends drop back in coverage and bring in linebackers behind them. Or I would start sitting my safety right down there in the middle of the field playing that tight end crossing route. Definitely try to shut down the middle of the field and make the Saints adjust.
Yeah, because as of right now, nobody's able to cover that tight end. I don't even think he's that great of a tight end, but I think he's got a good connection with Brees, and he's being open. So, I mean, you can't really beat that. So, it sounds to me like they're going to have to get maybe a safety or a big linebacker that can cover on that guy and then try to stop Thomas, because those two are the ones that are really killing it in this game.
Mm-hmm. So, I think we're just about almost caught up here in this game. As far as the stream goes, I think we've got to be pretty close. Let me check and see if there's chew clock on here going on further. Nope, no chew clock, so it looks like we're on game time.
So are we back?
I would say we're back.
Let's see if we are back. Yes, I bet you anything we're back. So I'm going to put it back on the game. Sounds like we are back, folks. I'm sorry about the delay. Those EA servers, gotta love them, man. Someone brought up a funny point about it being the Hurricanes that knocked over the towers. I got a chuckle out of that. So yeah, we're back. I'm kind of looking. I want to look at the chat here on YouTube. It looks like I can't see the game. No, Justin, we understand that. And Z-Star says, yeah, they're working to get back at the same point after DC. Yeah, that's brutal. You can't do anything about it. I mean, biggest game of the season, you get disconnected. I actually seen it happen to NBL guys. So it does happen. Unfortunately, it's part of the game when you have the servers. You just have to deal with it, and you have to deal with the kids in the background. So you're gonna hear my kid. You're gonna hear Harry's kid. You probably hear one of us whoop their ass. A couple times. You never know, man. You never know what you're gonna hear here, man.
You never know. My household might turn into World War III or the next Summer Slam. It's possible. And I got a bunch of boys, so they get loud sometimes.
Yeah, my daughter is not happy that my wife, it's like she's a refugee or something. You hear her in the background saying she's about to get her butt smacked.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So yeah, this will be fun. All right.
That's all right. Right now we're on pause, waiting for. So I think we're okay right now.
And Nick says we are family friendly for sure. Yeah, we are family friendly until the kids start getting out of hand. So
we're family friendly till the kids make noise, and then we don't like our kids no more.
Yeah, no doubt. No, we just
It's all good. We're still here on timeout. We're still hanging out.
Yep.
Here, let me go ahead and talk about the road to the Super Bowl here, right? As we load up right now.
We are loading up, and we will get to that. So hold your thoughts on that, because I'm sure we'll have a dead moment where you can kind of talk about that. So we are going to start at the 38-yard line. Actually, I think this is exactly where they stopped out. 1st and 10 at the 38. 7-0. The Saints are up. Or wait a minute, he's kneeling the ball here. So
well, it looks like we got to run just a little bit of clock here.
yeah, sounds like
got to get the clock down to game time.
1st and 10? I can't remember what it was. If you remember what it was in the chat, let me know. Can't remember what they were at before we went down here. Bust
no
smack.
idea.
So Z-Star says, bust smack, better straighten up. That's right, man. That's right. All right, so Jay Bash in the chat says, the Raiders going to win it. Brian Gibbs says, yes, we're up. Got to get 2nd down, Nick Larson. So that's where we're at, 2nd down. Guys, if you know people that want to watch, get them in here. Let them talk to us. Let's watch the game. We're going to be following the chat all game long. So it looks like they are 2nd and 11. 5 wide for Drew Brees here. So let's see what he can do. Fakes a snap. Looks like a screen. Gets it out. Oh, man, look at the spin by Montgomery. All the way down to the 12-yard line. Montgomery, beautiful spin. Out in space. Gets the 1st down. Great play call by Brent in that situation.
Yeah, that's really a great play call right there. They definitely had the defense outnumbered on that side. And that's a new thing that's come to the NFL, really, is that quick screen. Get the ball in the quarterback's hand, get it out as fast as possible, let your athletes make plays.
I don't know, for the life of me, man, I cannot run the screen pass. I always get ate up. Like, my blockers never block, whatever. That's a topic for another conversation here. So, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Looks like the Raiders make a little bit of adjustment. The Saints, fake snap. Oh, man, look at that. He ate that one up right up the middle, and I think that's Mark Hurst, if I'm not mistaken, 92. No, that's Hall. They were ready for that, and it looks like that brings up a 2nd and 11 situation.
You know, that's just not the way to stay on schedule and continue to get downs right there. I mean, you're inside the red zone on the Raiders, and they don't have a great red zone defense. Every negative play you're getting is definitely going in the Raiders' favor. You might not get points this time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Raiders have a pretty decent red zone defense as well. Looks like Brent's coming out in an I formation as well. And it looks like they're going to press the receivers. Looks like he fakes a snap there. 7 seconds. 6, 5. You better hurry up and get the ball off. He's going to wait for the 2-minute warning. I didn't even notice that. Very smart, very methodical by Brent. What do you think about that? Do you think he should have called one more play?
You know, I'd always like to call an extra play and use that 2-minute warning as its own timeout. Especially when you're up in the first half, call the play, let the 2-minute warning happen at 1:54. There's no reason not to. You're just hurting yourself at that point.
I'm with you. I don't know. I like it because he probably is going to force Oakland to call their timeouts if they don't score here. But they do call him out in an I formation again. Play action fake, and he walks right into the sack. Who were we talking about earlier? Bruce Irvin. Bruce Irvin with the sack. Steps up big time for them. Puts him in a 3rd and long situation.
Man, that is a tremendous individual effort by Bruce Irvin right there. I mean, we went ahead. Saints went ahead with a rollout pass. Number one, you got Breeze. He's not the fastest. But that rollout pass on the play action looked like he had some receivers downfield that were open. And now we got 3rd and 19. That's a big play.
Man, if you're Brent at this point, are you going to play it safe or are you going to try to score that touchdown?
You know what? I'm going to play it safe. And here's why. If I got a kicker like Will Lutz that is a perfect 11 for 11 on field goals this year, you might as well play it safe and take the points.
Now,
don't risk an interception.
They do get the pass out to Montgomery. Montgomery's being utilized a lot in this offense. They get down to the 13-yard line, but this is what the Raiders wanted to do. They wanted to force them underneath, and that's exactly what they did. He was able to get a little bit of yardage out of that, but not enough for the 1st down. Great call by Brent. So they are going to settle for the field goal and put themselves up 10-0.
You know, with a kicker like Will Lutz, it's basically automatic. I mean, he's 12 for 13 from extra point. This is basically an extra point. with where this field goal is, and it looks like it's good. I mean, put the ball on his foot, and you got points.
Yeah, and actually now, Raiders have a tough decision here. I mean, they haven't been able to really utilize their offense that well. They may be playing in the Saints' hand if they try to go, with this 2-minute offense. But I know Doss does not play it safe, so I think they are going to run this 2-minute offense and see what they can get out of it. At least a field goal. You do not want to go down, but you look at the other side. You do not want to go down if something happens where you throw a pick six or fumble or something like that. You don't want to even go down even further. So Doss probably wants to get himself back in this game, and he's probably going to utilize verticals and long passes to do that.
You at least got to get yourself into field goal range right here. You got a minute 44, 2 timeouts, hit the sidelines, get out of bounds, try to get into field goal range.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And they come out 5 wide. Looks like Murray Cooper is in the slot position, so watch for him. Coleman comes out in motion. 7 seconds left. And they go for a screen themselves to Coleman. Coleman does not get anything out of that. The Saints were not fooled at all. They're running the hurry-up offense here. As the clock winds down, Saints call timeout with 1:30 left. Now, I don't know if I would have done that if I was the Saints.
I don't have a problem with calling a timeout with them on their own 25, right? So we're in the Raiders territory. If I don't have the right personnel out for that play, call a timeout, pull them out, get the right guys in there for it.
That is definitely correct there. It looks like Derek Carr does not like what he sees. He is in shotgun. He has Coleman beside him and the tight end on the other side here. He steps up a little bit, goes deep over the middle. Oh, and he cannot catch the ball. I think that was Bryant. Bryant drops the ball, and it brings up 3rd and 10. At this point, what do you do if you're the Raiders? You may be punting back to the Saints.
If I'm the Raiders here, I'm not going to run the ball because they're just going to call a timeout. I'm going to try to get that first down, but I'm not going to look for a home run shot. I'm looking something over the middle, get up and hurry up, or something to the sideline.
So he does not play it safe. He throws the ball, and he is short. That is going to bring up a 4th and 3. This is exactly what the Raiders did not want to happen here. So they're going to give the ball back to the Saints, maybe in good field position here. Want to give a shout out to some of the guys in chat. Chad has said something about block. Big Al, sup Chad, and our old Texas owners coming back as a Texan, Suntan Superman, otherwise known as Coach Boone. What's up, Boone? And we have Dave Leon. They're saying screw Brent, go Doss. And yeah, they're kind of arguing amongst themselves here. If you're the Saints, are you going to play safe? Or are you going to try to get some more points on this?
I'm going to try to get in the field goal range. Like I said, you got a kicker that's 11 for 11 on the season. Let him kick the ball. I mean, he's good. He's only got 1 from over 50 yards, so you definitely got to move the chains.
And I didn't mean to cut you off there, but they do. Brees throws it to Thomas. Thomas could not. It was a curl route, and he could not hold on to the ball there. So it does bring up a 2nd and 10 situation here. At this point, you didn't pick that up. You don't want to give the ball back to Oakland. Even though you have pretty decent field possession here, they may want to think about just running the ball. But it looks like the Raiders are bunching up in the 4-4 formation. They are bringing the press. Brees fakes the handoff. And it looks like he's got some receivers. He's got a tight end wide open. I'm sorry, that's the fullback. The fullback they try to strip him. He almost gets the first down. He's probably only a couple inches short of that first down, and he is. It's 3rd and inches here.
Man, 3rd and inches, 50 seconds left on the clock. The clock's running right now. They better get a play loaded up and ready to run. I mean, if you don't get the first down,
watch out for a long pass play here. We know Brent, and he's not a type of guy that's afraid to do that. He does come out in the I formation. Fakes a snap. He's looking to make sure Mack is not getting in there. Does a toss play. Montgomery out to the outside. Gets the first down. Gets all the way into the Raiders territory at the 41-yard line. Brings up 1st and 10 with 21 seconds to go and no timeouts.
If they could get one more play, that's one more first down or 7-8 yards on this next play, they're definitely setting themselves up for great field goal position with Will Lutz. I mean, he can kick the ball over 50 yards and put it through the uprights.
Yeah, look for maybe a 10 to 15-yard pass just to get up enough to where they can spike the ball and give him time to do that. They got 21 seconds, but what they do not want is a sack or anything that will prohibit them from not moving the ball forward. So they're going to bring out 5 wide with the tight end next to the right tackle there. Drew Brees fakes a snap. Mack still stifled. He is not moving. They go long over the middle, and it's out of bounds. And that brings up 2nd and 10. He wanted to go long on that one. That does not surprise me about Brent.
You know, I really don't mind that route or that play because, you know, if your receiver doesn't catch it, the clock stops. You can run another play. You can load up for a field goal. You know, it's out of bounds where only your receiver can make the play. I like that play call.
Yeah, I do too. You know, if they would have got it, they would have been up 17-0, but it doesn't put them in bad situation here. 5 wide again. They go for the wide receiver screen again. He does not get to the outside to get out of bounds. 9, 7, 6. The clock runs down. They are going to have to try to spike it. 2, 1, and they do. With 2 seconds left at the 38, they spike it. It looks like they're probably going to try to go for the field goal, and this brings up what you had brought up earlier, Will Lutz's leg.
So, hey, Will Lutz, this year kicking the ball, I mean, you think about it, he is 23 for 24 in kicks. That's extra points and field goals. He's automatic. This is a good play.
Yeah, absolutely. They are lined up. It's up through the upright. It's far enough, and it's good. They go up 13-0. 2 scores. The Raiders haven't scored anything yet. They do get the ball, though. What are your thoughts thus far on this game? Is this something that you kind of thought you were going to see?
You know, this is kind of along the lines of what I was going to see. New Orleans defense is good. They are scary good. They're not going to give up any easy points, and their offense is just unreal. If you have Drew Brees at quarterback, he's going to put up points.
Somehow, some way, they are going to have to get that running game going if they have any chance in winning this. They just keep giving the ball back, putting their defense out there. As the time goes by, I think that their defense is going to start getting tired, so they're going to have to kind of slow this game down a little bit. It's going to be very interesting to see how Doss handles the second half.
It's definitely going to be interesting. So that kick return there was actually a pretty standard kick return for the Raiders. Right now, they're averaging 30-yard returns every time you kick the ball deep to them. So your best bet really is just kick it out the back of the end zone.
Yeah, Doss has always been good at kick returns. That's one thing I've noticed about him. So they got a 2 tight end set. Coleman tries to go up the middle, but he gets 8 up. We had talked about this earlier. Kenny Clark was not having it. He has been such a big addition to this team, not only just because of his pass rushing ability, but also the ability to eat up blocking in the middle and stop that run.
You know, you don't have 7 TFLs for no reason, right? Obviously, he's great at shedding blocks and eating up space right there in the middle of the defense.
And they are going in a single back formation. Cooper in the slot makes a couple adjustments, gets it out to his tight end who's wide open, tries to make a juke play to get the first down, but he's going to be about a yard short. This is going to bring up a very crucial 3rd down situation, 3rd and 1.
You know, only being 45% on 3rd down conversions, this is not a great place to be. They really got to try to be throwing routes to sticks on 2nd down.
And he throws it to his tight end over the middle, and he does bring it down, so that gets them the first down, just enough yardage to get that. Great haul in by Cook. They were trying to swat the ball away from him. So it brings up a 1st and 10, and it looks like they are coming out in another running back, fullback set here. Carr back in the pocket, gets enough time, gets it to Bryant. Bryant gets about 5-6 yards out of this, so it's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 on their own 44.
You know, that was a great job by the offensive line and the running back specifically picking up that pass blitz. They brought 7 on that play.
I saw that. That was very good. And it looks like they draw them. It's not going to be encouraged. They're going to be 2nd and 10, so it's like that pass didn't even happen. Oakland is having some bad luck with this. They try to do the false fake snap. They do not get. They draw themselves off offsides. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and long. They're going to go back into the single back formation here with Cooper in the slot. A guy to watch out for. Oh, and he throws it right to the defender. Throws it right to number 43, the safety. Oh, man, what was he looking at? Marcus Williams throws it right to him for the interception, and it puts the Saints back in business.
You know, that's definitely something to watch out for the rest of the game with the Saints. They have a pair of second-year players that are going to anchor, I'm telling you, anchor the Saints defense for years to come, right? They combined for 7 picks apiece on the season.
And it looks like they're going to run up the middle.
Total interceptions.
And it looks like Montgomery getting the nice yardage there. They're doing a good job of blocking up front for him. Brings up a 2nd and 5 situation. But, yeah, it looks like they're just content with running the ball here. This is probably something to look out for to see if Breeze starts to utilize this run. And I do have to apologize for the graphic here. I've been using the last year's Super Bowl graphic, not this year's Super Bowl graphic. And it looks like Freeman goes up the middle. Great hole provided by this outstanding Saints offensive line. Gets the first down, and they are at the 16-yard line.
You know, that's a big gain for Rice Freeman. I mean, he only averaged 2.2 yards per carry on the season. So for him to rip off a big game like that, that's definitely a big play for Freeman this year.
And this is not something that the Saints really utilized a lot, was a running game. This is the most I've seen them run. I follow a lot of their games, and I think Brent saw a soft spot in their defense and probably utilizing that. They come out in a shotgun formation here, run play up the middle, the inside zone, and Montgomery rushes for probably about 1 yard.
You know, with the way they're running the ball here, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a play-action pass on the next play. I think it's a great down and a great place to do it here at the 15-yard line.
And I know Brent, he does not let off the gas. If I know him, he's going to try to score a touchdown, put this away, put him up at least 3 scores here. So they're going to come out in a pistol formation with 3 wide receivers on the right side with the tight end on the left. Montgomery behind Breeze here. They're going to play action, pass it. Hurst gets right by he gets right by the alignment, and then the running back gets in for the sack. That's a huge play by the Raiders defense. Puts the Saints in a 3rd and long situation here.
You know, Big Mo Hurst, man, that boy is a stud. Coming out of the University of Michigan, he is an animal. He's been playing some big-time football for a lot of years under a lot of great D-line coaches.
Absolutely, and the only reason he slid was because of the heart issues that they had, but he has been awesome this year for the Raiders. So it looks like the Saints are going to come out in a shotgun formation again. Breeze gets it out to his running back, Ty Montgomery. This looks like the end of the first half where he gets it out just enough yardage to get close enough to make this field goal. So that's what they're going to settle on. 4th and 7 here. So it looks like as long as nothing crazy happens, they're going to go up 16-0.
Which is a chip shot for Will Lutz.
Will Lutz with 3, I think, is it 2 or 3 field goals already?
That'd be 3.
No, 3, yeah, you're right. So, Raiders running out of the end zone. Gets it up to about the 25-yard line. Now they've got to really be thinking, what do we got to do to be able to move the ball here? We have to be able to score.
You know, if I were the Raiders, I would open it up right now. I would be making sure I get Amari Cooper and Martavius Bryant involved.
Oh, no, he fumbles a ball. Coleman fumbles it. They are able to get it back. I do like the play call because you still have plenty of time to come back. You don't need all of it in one play. Still run the ball, and the Saints were ready for it, and they put the hit on Coleman. He almost gives the ball back. That would have been good night. So they come out with the shot. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Coleman had 4 fumbles on the season, so he's had some fumble trouble.
Some reason Martavius Bryant drops the ball there, but he looked like he was running really slow. I don't know what was going on with that, but he does drop the ball, puts him in the 3rd and 12 situation. If they don't get a first down here, they could be really in trouble.
We got third and 12 here. I would tell you to take a look at Marcus Williams and Marshawn Lattimore right here to make a big play.
Derek Carr, all the time in the world. Great pass protection. Gets it to his receiver. But the Saints were able to break that up. Marshawn Lattimore, great defensive play on that one. And it forces him out to a 4th and 12.
4th and 12, we got the punt team in.
And Dave in the chat says if Goss doesn't score here, it's over.
I got Ted Ginn back there returning punts.
The ageless wonder, Ted Ginn. Guy's got to be like 39 years old, still 90-plus speed on Madden. Pretty crazy.
You know, I'll tell you what, Ted Ginn Jr. has been burning people with his speed for years.
Absolutely.
He doesn't get any older. He just gets faster.
And the Saints come out in a pistol formation. Drew Brees, fake snap a couple times. Gets it over the middle. They are having a problem. To who else? Ted Ginn. We were just talking about him. They are having the problem covering the middle. And again, the Saints capitalize. So it puts them, they are now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Third, at the clock winding down in third quarter. They do run the ball, but they are ready for it. They stop Montgomery for no gain there. Actually, I'm sorry, they did get 1 yard out of that, but this is going to be a huge drive for them. The Raiders have to stop them at this point.
You know, that's a good way to respond after giving up that big pass play to Ted Ginn. You know, anytime you can slow an offense down, even for just one play, that can build some momentum in your favor.
Absolutely. Breeze in the shotgun all the time in the world again. Gets it out to his running back, Royce Freeman. Royce Freeman almost gets the first down. Gets to the 38-yard line, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 situation. Great patience and pocket presence by Drew Brees.
You know, one thing I'm really impressed with right now in this game, you know, 3/4 of the way through, is how well the Saints have held onto the football with it in their hands. I mean, they're 5th in fumbles on the season, so they do fumble the ball often. Look for one to happen here this game.
And they're going to let the clock run out. We're going to bring up to the 4th quarter. One thing, Jay Bash in the chat says 11 rushes for a 38 yards. You'd think the Saints would be losing with that stat line. What do you think about that?
They have Drew Brees.
Yeah, that's
what I think.
And they've been able to utilize a run just to get to move the chains and get the ball rolling. Brent's doing a great job of being able to manage this game. Brings up a 3rd and 3 situation. Oakland, another screen, but Oakland was ready for it, and they hurt. Mario Edwards is hurt on the play, but they were able to stop it for no gain. 4th and 3, huge stop here. It lines up a 51-yard field goal attempt here.
Will Lutz only has 1 field goal at 50 yards this year.
He just missed it. Huge miss by Will Lutz. Huge advantage by the Oakland Raiders. Now you have to score. There is no question about it. You were down 2 scores. If you get 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions, you need to score something here.
We talk about it in high school football. What's your big play after a turnover like that?
Well, they try to go down the middle to their wide receiver, but they do not get it. Brent brings the pressure anyway, and they were still able to cover that route. Brent's very impressive of drawing up the blitzes and having coverage available. He did that against me. Great defensive play there by Brent. So this brings up a 2nd and 10 at their own 45. Derek Carr comes out in a shotgun formation, looking to make a couple adjustments there. In the pocket all the time in the world, and he almost throws another interception, throws it in, but for some reason his running back was not even open and throws it into traffic on that one. I think he actually had the post play open on that, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, I think Doss is just getting flustered right now. He's getting frustrated. His offense isn't doing much, and I think he's just trying to force it. Time to settle down, do what you know you can do what you're good at, get back to basics.
Absolutely. That's a good point there. It looks like tight end and the running back in the backfield with Carr. Carr had plenty of time. Beautiful blocking, and he does get the first down. So they're going to run a no huddle here at the 44-yard line. Carr in the same formation as last play. fakes a snap. It looks like now Cook is actually running to the flat, and it looks like the running back goes up the middle for 1 yard on that play.
You know, Tevin Coleman has 7 rushes for 4 yards, guys. That is just over a half a yard per carry. The Raiders' offensive line has got to do a better job.
You know, Jay Bash says something. He said that was a huge miss. He said that if he makes that, that's now a 3-possession game. Great point there, Jay. Now the Raiders, they come out in a single back formation here. They need to do something. 2nd and 9, but it looks like the Raiders, no, they did get the Saints off sides. So it's going to make it a 2nd and 4 situation, very manageable for the Raiders here.
This has been a very clean game so far for the Saints. You know, coming into the game being the 5th most penalized team in the XCFL, I really expected to see more flags on the field.
Absolutely. Looks like they're coming out in a 2 wide receiver set. They send Brian out. Cooper's in the slot here. Watch out for him. And it gets to the Cooper, and he gets it. And it looks like the defensive back tried to go for the interception there, but failed. He looked like he could have gotten a little bit more yards there, but maybe he was even surprised he was able to get that.
Now, here's a guy that is an absolute game changer. Amari Cooper, 47 catches on the year, 1,000 yards, 4 TDs.
Oh, my gosh, and he throws the interception. And it looks like Williams runs, jumps the route, and he's going all the way down, and that probably is going to be your ball game. That is crucial right there. You cannot have that happen. For some reason, I don't know why he threw that, because the cornerback had that route covered from the get-go. Robinson, wow, what a devastating play.
Hey, all I know is Robinson is looking to have that contract extended making plays like that.
Absolutely. Now it looks like the Saints here could probably just run the clock out, but they're looking to strip the ball in the backfield. The Raiders were ready for that run. They were able to stop it, so it brings up a 2nd and 13 situation. Do they still have time? I mean, do they have time to make anything happen here?
You know, it's a 3-possession game, but there is still time. Derek Carr is a tremendous quarterback, and he has great receivers on the outside. I just don't know if they'll be able to overcome that big-time #1 pass defense.
And it looks like they're running up the middle. Brent's not doing anything crazy. He's probably going to run the clock out here. 3rd and 10 at the 35. Still manageable position for the Raiders. But if they do make this field goal, it is now a 3-possession ball game, and that could be lights out for them. So they're coming out in a 5 wide receiver set. That's the thing about Brent. He is so unpredictable. In any other situation, they're gonna run the ball here. Not Brent. Drew Brees sits back in the pocket, plenty of time, gets it out to number 10, and he's down about the 30-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 6 situation with a 47-yard field goal attempt here.
So what happens is if you make this field goal, it takes it from a 2-touchdown in the field goal game to a 3-touchdown game. Definitely, this could seal the deal right here.
And he makes it. That was a beautiful kick. Now it's 19-0. Definitely a 3-score ball game. So we maybe have seen the last of Doss's chances here. So he kicks it out of the end zone. I don't know why he has a running back with the number 34, Jackson, on the back. That makes me cringe, being a Bo Jackson fan.
Hey, I'll tell you what. There is nothing like Bo Jackson in, Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl, yeah. You're showing your age. I'm showing my age because I love Bo Jackson. I'm a Broncos fan, but I love Bo Jackson. One of my favorite players. So it looks like they get a free play here. Saints jump off sides, but they get sacked. There's a reason why that, because they turn on the aggressive pass rush. They do get the sack, but it doesn't count for anything. It's going to be 1st and 5 with 4:25 left in this ball game, trailing the Saints 19-0.
You know, in order for the Raiders to get back into this ball game, they've got to score right now. They have to score this drive, and they got to score quick.
And Jay Bash in the chat says, Patrick Robinson should go ahead and take his MVP trophy home now. What do you think about that? Is he your MVP?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't give it to him. I might go ahead and give that award to Marcus Williams for that earlier pick. I think that definitely was what changed the total momentum of the game.
Yeah, that's who I have at this point as well. Clark, if he's able to get a couple more sacks, but definitely Marcus Williams. At this point, they're going to try to run the no huddle, but yeah, that's kind of interesting to talk about. I mean, who do you really think that has kind of changed the game for the Saints?
Are there coaches on the field?
Not yet, I don't think. Oh, yeah, they must be a glitch or something. It looks like the players are over there on the left. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
So, Madden 19 fans, when your team is screwing up in the Super Bowl and getting their butts kicked, your coach will go out on the field.
Coach, it looks like the players as well. Now it looks like they've all went back to their respective sidelines, but yeah, that's pretty amazing there. So 2nd and 10, 3:40 left in your ball game. This is XCFL Network on YouTube. I am the Out the Hill 7, and commentating with me, Aries. It looks like Nick Larson says, the band is on the field. It kind of looks like that. The old Stanford Cal game when they threw the pass and he started running over the trombone players and all that.
On the final play of the game, and the entire band just getting taken out.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Pretty amazing, yeah. 3rd and 10. Throws it up to his receiver, and it is intercepted again. This time, Crawley with the interception. Man, Carr has been smothered this entire game. They have not been able to separate from those cornerbacks whatsoever.
You know, I can't give enough credit to the Saints defense and their defensive game plan coming in this game. You know, they have just been incredible. The Raiders can't get anything going.
No, at this point, we may just see them run the clock out and call this a ball game. Run up the middle to Ty Montgomery, who's been a kind of a quiet hero. You know, somebody had mentioned his stat line, but 14 for 44. What it doesn't tell you is that in crucial moments, he's been able to pick up those first downs. I really like what Montgomery has done today. They haven't asked a lot out of him, but what he's done is been able to kind of help move the chains for this team.
He's just keeping the defense honest with every carry he gets. He's a tough runner.
Jason in the chat says the Saints DBs were smothering. That's what we were talking about earlier. They have just been locked down on the Raiders wide receivers. The Raiders are going to have to think about this in the offseason. Are they going to be happy with what they have going forward?
You know, if I were the Saints, I wouldn't make any changes at all to my roster.
No, I'm sorry, not the Saints, the Raiders is who I was speaking of.
Oh, the Raiders.
Receivers.
You know, I don't think it's the receivers not getting open. I think it's got to be more the play calling. I don't think we're running the ball well enough up front to open up any passing lanes or to bring any receivers open.
Yeah, that's a great point. And they're just not able to do anything. And, you know, credit to Carr. He's been trying to make some things happen. But I've seen a couple throws where he threw it right to the defender, and then a couple, you know, were just the cornerback outplayed the receiver. So there's not much you can do with that. At this point, 2-minute warning, 2nd and 10. If you're just joining us, the New Orleans Saints are going to become the Super Bowl champions of season 1 of this Madden cycle, but season 16 altogether. But what a great game by Brent. I got to tip my hat to him. He's played a phenomenal game. And, you know, even Doss at this point, I know he's got to be aggravated and be very frustrated. He's a very passionate guy, but, you know, hats off to him too, man. He played a hell of a game.
You know, look, Doss went 13-3 on the year. He took out the Steelers and he took out the Patriots in the playoffs. Just that's an accomplishment to make it here through that schedule.
Absolutely. And we have very, very, very good users. So to make it to any Super Bowl, even if you don't win, is an accomplishment in itself. So nothing to shake his head at. I mean, obviously he's going to be disappointed at this performance, but you know, it's at the drawing board. What can I do to improve myself and get better? So I think a lot of guys can say that, you know. I mean, you yourself being, you know, with the Eagles, myself with the Cowboys, we all have things that we want to get better at and kind of help out with. So it's gonna be interesting off season. So
it's gonna be a very interesting off season. But you want a little known fact here? The punter has a long punt of 73 yards on the season. Wow. That's pretty wild. That's Morstead. When I saw that, when I was looking up stats pregame, I was absolutely shocked.
Pretty amazing. You know,
that's must have been a hurricane or something
going on during right? Marshawn Lynch runs the ball, doesn't get anything. But yeah, to bring to your point, that's the punter having he just knows how to utilize all of his players, and that's how Brent, one of the strengths that he has. So as we wrap up the game here, any last thoughts about what happened today?
My only thought here is this
he was
Drew
ready
Brees'
to get out of that game?
Is this Drew Brees' last game? Is he going to hang it up and retire the cleats after this one?
Well, his moment is here.
Well, and that's what we don't know, right? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's if he's going to keep him, if he's going to want to just say screw it, I'm going to take. I'm done with him. I want to get younger. Who knows at this point? But if it is, congratulations of Drew Brees riding off into sunsets with the New Orleans Saints. He's done so much for the organization, especially when Hurricane Katrina came and wiped out the city. He was there. He was big in the community and getting it back. So definitely a great guy. Great player for your organization. Somebody that you would definitely want your team to draft. So. Yeah, but
he's definitely a class act. He's definitely one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. It's really great to see him this deep into his career in his 17th year. To be able to go out on top with a Super Bowl.
Absolutely, I think so as well. I want to congratulate Doss and Brent for a great game. Our next broadcast is actually going to be this Friday at 8:30. We have our live draft show. So definitely don't want to miss that. Definitely give us a like and a follow, and set your notifications up to where you got it turned on to where you can see everything. And also follow us on Twitter, XCFL Network. We always post everything from what the league is, what's going on. If you want to join the league, XCFLnetwork.com. Fill out an application, get involved. We have a developmental league called the Blitz. We're always looking for users for that to move up into the main league. But keep in mind, guys, we're ready to rock and roll. We're only going to get better and stronger from here. Again, this Friday, do not miss the draft show. So any last thoughts before we head off here?
Get ready for a wild hurricane of a ride of offseason. Big moves are going to be taking place.
Absolutely, and we're going to follow them. We're definitely going to follow them as they happen. So definitely follow our Twitter because they always post what's going on. I just want to thank you, Aries. You did a great job play-by-play. Hopefully we can do this more. Maybe we'll do some more key games during the season, not just make this a Super Bowl thing. And I just want to thank you for joining me. Thank everybody out there for watching. We had a great time calling the game for you. But yeah, thanks a lot. And you guys were great. Have a good day and take care.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.